Okay, so in your whole application, apart from your step exams, obviously your US clinical experience hold the most prime position. So if you have, let's say, 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 months of US clinical experience, it is said to be a good amount. And even though it does not say that it's mandatory like by the book, but it is because programs use that as a filter to actually, review your application. So you have to have US clinical experience in your chosen field. So, like for my experience, I did like 4 electives till now. And so, what you need to know about US clinical experience is the differences, like, the ones that are available to you. If you're a student, you have the option for applying to electives to universities. And for university electives, definitely you have to research on the university websites, and the application process for every university will be different. You have to send in an application, and they will like select you or not select you. So that's just for universities. And since now the COVID has gone, so most universities are opening up. So keep an eye out and definitely apply to universities. That should be your first preference. But if you're, let's say, a graduate and you cannot apply to university electives or you're not selected for university electives, then also it's not the end of the road. You have to get electives and clinical experience somewhere. So there comes the role of networking and agencies. So definitely, directly get in touch with doctors, use your family networks to, get US clinical experience at some outpatient clinics or shadow some US physician by their permission, obviously. And then you can also go by agencies. Agencies actually do have a lot of good options sometimes. So that's definitely one way to go. I think Assembly Sati itself has a lot of options, and I did one through them. So yeah, it's a great one. So definitely go with that. And when you are like applying for US clinical experience, there are a few things that you should always keep in mind. First of all, do not geographically limit yourself. Do not do all your US clinical experiences at one place, because that will negatively impact your application in a way that programs will see that you have some sort of geographical, inclination towards a certain city. So do not do that. Spread it out, and especially do it over the East Coast places like New York is very IMG friendly. So go for that. And then there is, you can go for Florida or something like that. Anyway, anywhere on the East Coast is a good option for US clinical experience. And definitely plan ahead for US clinical experience. Like you have to give at least 4 to 6 months of a good amount of time to, for the whole application process, the documentation, the visa process, because it's very exhaustive. And with in the recent times, visa issues have been so much that students are getting rejected and applying over and over again. So plan ahead and apply that way. And for me, I did 3 rotations in Chicago for now, like for 3 electives in Chicago. One was inpatient, and one was outpatient, and one was a hybrid elective, which was in and outpatient, and one was in Florida, which was again an outpatient elective. So yeah, pretty much I'm going to do some more, but for now I've done that. One advice that I would give to everyone for the US in clinical experience is that when you are there, try to perform. Like, I know that you all think that when you are going to a rotation, you're obviously going to perform. That's something that we have on the back of our minds, but that is not so. Those LORs are performance based. So it depends on how active you are in case discussions, how active you are in shouldering responsibilities, and helping each other around and everything else. And your preceptors are going to see every single thing. They're going to observe you on every single thing, and in your LOR everything is going to be mentioned. So when you are there, be attentive, be active, and definitely perform enough that you can say to yourself that I did well on this rotation. So that's definitely one thing to always remember. And second thing is that for a lot of aspirants, ask me a lot of times that how to prepare for US rotations. So I would say if you want to do something beforehand, especially for any specialty, when you are starting with a rotation, try to learn about the bread and butter diseases of that particular specialty, so that when you are there in the clinic, you know the stuff. You know when a patient is presenting with a particular disease, especially if it is like as common as diabetes or hypertension. You should know everything about it, because that is expected of you. That is the basic thing that is expected of you. Then know how to take history, know how to take physicals, your common drugs, their uses, their side effects. You should know the stuff because that is expected of you as a doctor. So yeah, for US rotations, this is like some things that you have to keep in mind.